with a big deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And let's continue to take some big deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And keep breathing. And maybe let's all just, whoever joins today, let's just smile together. If you can just form a smile on your face and hold it in a big cheesy grin for like 20 seconds, it's just going to increase the flow of energy. It's going to release some dopamine into your brain. You're going to start to feel lighter, so that as we bridge some of these topics about our core beliefs and reality creation, we can open to and receive all the activations that are necessary for us. So I had a really beautiful group call this morning with the group I'm leading through my process of protocols for ascension and really stepping into higher consciousness. And one of the women from my group, they are 90 days. Oh, okay. They're 60 days. They're entering into their like 90-day quarter. So they're 60 days into this process right now. And one of the women in the group has been just experiencing this overflow of miracles and positivity and joy. And as we stepped into the next level, she began to feel like she was regressing. She said today on the call that she was having lots of thoughts and feelings of like, see, I knew it couldn't last forever. See, I knew my happiness was temporary. See. And as we sat in the call and I helped her walk through this, what we noticed was that she had these core beliefs and they were finally starting to crumble. She had lived for so long thinking that happiness was fleeting, that it wasn't something she deserved, that if it was happy for so long, it had to get terrible at a certain point. And so she was able to, through the protocol, step into these higher vibrations. But what happened was, as she secured them for longer and longer, they started to become core beliefs, but kind of like when your teeth come in. When one comes out, it makes space for the other to come forward. So the tooth is underneath. I have teeth on the brain because my son's losing a lot of his right now. But the tooth underneath, it's been forming in your gums already for months. It's only when it's ready to submerge that the old tooth falls out to make space for the new. And then it can be a little bit painful as the new tooth makes its way up through your gums, really dives into the roots and solidifies and anchors its place there. That's exactly what happens with our core beliefs. So her core beliefs were growing internally. They were creating a solid foundation within her. And as they solidified and were ready to submerge, every old belief had to go to make room. And so they started to bombard her in attempts to stay. And luckily, with my support and the group and the protocol, she's able now to go back and start to love on those fearful thoughts that are coming and say, I love you. Thank you for serving me for so long. And now I am stepping into new beliefs. And she's making space for these new structures to come in. And the thing is, with those new structures, just like for a while, you're toothless, your tooth doesn't just pop right up. For a while, you have a gap there. That means things can flow in and out that don't normally flow. It's chaotic. It's like when a dam breaks and the river surges through. There's going to be, as that old belief system moves in, even though the new core beliefs are down here coming up, there is this period of void where all the chaos is ensuing. And it's in that period where you continue to fertilize and keep that core belief nurtured and strong. This is where we do the maintenance work on this core belief to constantly reinforce it So even amongst the chaos, even when you're not seeing in front of you the results of these core beliefs, you felt them as they were being formed, but as they emerge, you're not seeing them yet. And this is where faith comes in. And this is where I see so many people regress back into the old comfortable thought patterns, is in this moment of void, because it feels really scary. You no longer have the old structures to rely on, but the new ones aren't quite here. And it's in that void where we have to breathe deep. This is where self-devotion or discipline comes into play. This is the reason behind cementing in the protocol that I teach, is because in those moments, like this woman is doing now, you have something to fall on that keeps you in as much balance and safety as possible. Parts of my protocol include meditating daily so I can keep that beautiful divine connection and I can keep my mind clear. I also have the ability to focus my mind in harder, scary situations. Using breath work so that as the emotions and feelings surface within me, they're not rooting in. I'm expressing my emotions rather than letting my feelings get trapped into the nervous system. I'm aware of them and breathing through them with breathwork exercises. I'm doing intentional yoga so my body doesn't trap all of the fear, so that my body, mind, and spirit stay aligned. I'm eating clean so that my body can process and alchemize the emotions and I can be strong and steady and clear as I move through it. I sink into gratitude on the daily so that in those fearful moments or the moments that come up that feel or remind me of lack, I have gratitude, awe, and inspiration to sink into. These protocols and rituals in our lives become a part of our life so that even when the core beliefs and the structures that we have relied on for so long fall away as we make room for new, we still have some sort of devotional so that we don't totally lose ourselves to the chaos and the doubt and the fear. So how do you notice your core beliefs? How do you know when you're in that limbo? How do you know when you're starting to rebuild? Well, all of the things I was just telling you about that my client experienced, but also your core beliefs, the ones that you've lived and operated on for quite some time in the past, are what you see in your present reality, the way that you view the world. If you're in the process of shifting them, you'll see in and outs of both the old and the new. And until you totally shift, you'll continue to see the in and outs of the old and the new. If someone has the core belief that the world is a scary and mean place, in every encounter, they're going to see it from that lens. What could have been a beautifully set boundary to someone else becomes hate and betrayal to the person who views the world through the lens of betrayal. What could have been a beautiful opportunity to expand and network and grow to one lens could be an opportunity to be drained and persecuted and feared in another lens. These lenses that we view our life stem from our core beliefs. And it's the most empowering amount of knowledge you can have is your core beliefs and the way they're reflecting in your reality, because with the knowledge comes the empowerment of choice. Saying, well, if this is what I'm seeing in front of me, but this is what I desire in my heart, I now have where I am and where I'm going. And with those 2 points, I can slowly but steadily start bridging the gap into the new. I have the ability to change something. You guys have heard that quote, I'm sure. If you don't change it, you choose it. So no matter what I'm experiencing, now have the sovereignty of saying, I'm choosing this. And if it's still not in alignment with my core beliefs, I can choose something different. And it's in that aligned choosing, it's in that aligned being, it's in those aligned and intentional choices that we slowly start to build new structures. And I'm saying all of this to say, and the situation I shared earlier, is that just because you start doing the work doesn't mean it will magically appear. But slowly but surely, through devotion and consistency to what you desire, your world will change. You'll make room for this new belief system, for these new things to appear in your reality, but it takes the dissolution of the old. And that means there's a period of void, of unsteadiness, of unknown, of chaos. And it's through there that you've got to be willing and so devoted to the change you're making that you can ground in and hold steady. What I find works best for all of this, being on the healing journey for so long now and really intentionally choosing over and over again this evolution and this purging of the old and stepping into the new, the only way that I was able to enjoy life through it all and not take it so seriously was to do just that, to enjoy it all and not take life so seriously. A couple weeks ago, I talked about how you can still feel joy even amidst your suffering. It's the way that I've always chose to live my life. And I see in the clients that can choose joy even amidst their suffering, can do exponentially, can move through this process with exponential ease over the people who aren't able to find joy in their suffering. And it can be really easy. It looks like laughing more. It looks like allowing this all to be a big, beautiful experience you're in, really stepping back as the observer and not attaching to the experiences that are happening for you, but rather observing them as a beautiful masterpiece unfolding before you. It's about being able to step back and see the big picture and realizing that we are one teeny tiny speck in a very complex and infinite universe. This lifetime is one teeny tiny speck of that. We only have one opportunity in this body with this particular set of senses and knowings. And I don't know about you, but I want to make the most of it, to be grateful for the trials just as much as I'm grateful for the pleasure, to see it all as a beautiful gift of life and knowing that I am indeed alive. There are so many ways to let life be fun. A couple of things me and my kids do. When we go to places, we call it something else, right? We're going to the store, we're going to the town market. And if we're going to, maybe we're going to the local apothecary or the wizard shop, and we speak in different accents and voices, and we have fun without thinking about who's watching us the whole time. We dance in the grocery store, we have water fights in the middle of the day. There's tiny little things that you can do to bring back more joy and wonder, even just sitting and staring at the landscape before you. For me, it's big, beautiful mountains. For you, it might be skyscrapers. Maybe somebody's sitting in front of a field. View it as a beautiful painting or masterpiece and sit in awe and gratitude. It's where we focus our attention and intention that we create from. And so while you can choose to focus on the pains or the lessons of the past, wouldn't it be nice to be able to redirect that energetic investment into more of what you desire, into the awe and gratitude of everything sitting before you, and into the core beliefs and structures that you want to create in your current reality? I'm not saying that it's easy, and I'm not saying that the harder emotions don't matter. They all matter. They're all a part of life. They're all proof that we are alive, that we feel sensations, but it's the weight that we attach to them, the stories, the assumptions, the projections that we attach to them, that we internalize and then project out more into our reality. It's when you can change those core beliefs into a really easy one to start to transform, is that life is happening for me. That's a very big blanketed core belief. That when you can see that life is happening for you, you don't have to take all of the external shit personally. You can see it with a grain of salt. To know that other people's wounds, projections, to know that the experiences that we're having are simply a part of being alive. They don't mean that you're bad. They don't mean that others are bad. They just mean that you're alive And however you choose to feel and experience it and learn from it is what's happening. It's when we attach all of the weight to it, the blame to it, the judgment to it, that we get lost in our minds and in our bodies, and we miss out on what's happening in the present moment. We miss out on the opportunity to reinforce the core beliefs within that say life can be good. I deserve happiness. I deserve wealth. I deserve to feel safe. And I teach this and I believe it so beautifully, because not only do I believe I am worthy and that I am indeed the frequency of love, but I know that to be true for each and one of you. And when I look out at you, whether I'm seeing you in a class call, I'm seeing your posts, I'm seeing your comments, I'm feeling your energy, I know without a shadow of a doubt that you are pure love, that you are worthy, that you deserve the most amazing miracles, that you deserve to feel safe inside your body, that you deserve to smile more and laugh more and enjoy beautiful, healthy connection. I know this is true for each and every one of you. And so it makes my work easy, because all I have to do is show up and tell you the truth and know that one day you will remember. And that's my hope. That's my mission. That's my dream. And I hope that as you hear my words, as you experience my energy, and that you remember your truths, that you will awaken to all that you are and all that's available for you. Start looking inside, feeling into the core beliefs that are shaping your life. Ask for support when you need it. I personally have so many ways that I support the communities that I'm involved in. No matter your price range, I have something there to support you, even if it's just someone to talk to. You're all worthy of moving through this with ease and grace, and it's my pleasure to come before you and speak my words and my own truth. But thank you for seeing me. Thank you for hearing me. And I'll post this week's meditation on stepping into this energy in the comments below. I love you guys. As always, breathe deep and plan on miracles.